Hey, Coach, when you talk about a team like Florida that has so many athletes and a size advantage, is it a case where you've almost got to play perfect basketball to be able
No,
to contend with that, or is there more you think y'all
no,
could have
no, I don't
done?
think so at all. I mean, we shot 54% for the game, 61% in the second half. I don't think you got to play perfect. I think you got to play physical, but you got to be active. And we were not nearly even a 1 point game at half. I didn't think we were active enough at all. We had 4 deflections at half. So this is the most bewildering one to me of the year because of the way we practiced the last couple of days. We haven't had 2 back-to-back days. And again, they didn't leave it in the practice floor. We cut the practices short because they were so aggressive and locked in. But it just didn't transfer today. And I think the biggest thing we've got to learn is if we're relying on 1 or 2 people to lead us and be the emotional, verbal leaders of our team, well, we learned a very hard lesson about that today. There's a self-determination that you've got to make as an individual every time you play, that you're going to bring your best and you're going to be able to play through it and not rely on somebody else. And this was another one of those games that even when we were down, I didn't look back and say, okay, they really believe we're going to get this, and we don't beat Ole Miss without that. We don't beat Kentucky without that. And so if it's lack of maturity, whatever it is, lack of spirit, whatever it is, we didn't have that as much today. But I don't think you got to play perfect basketball by any stretch. You just have to be very aggressive. You have to be very active, and you have to be willing to hit and fight and hit first on the glass.
Okay, let's have Mark Weiser and then Jeff Schultz.
Tom, do you worry about the fight and spirit kind of, bleeding into the next game, or how do you stop it?
I don't know. We just got to get back to practice. No, we just did it a couple of days ago. So, I mean, no, I think it's just, we got to look at the lineups, and it was a little out of character for the lack of physicality for guys. But I think when you look at Tamani, PJ, and Andrew, and you look at the lack of rebounding in there, it starts right there. It starts right there. So, but again, a couple of nights ago, we were extremely physical and aggressive on the glass. And so I think it's lack of consistency more than it is anything else.
Yeah, Tom, following that up with the lack of consistency, when you lose a player who, is your best player, obviously, and one of the best in the nation, and then you bring in so many new pieces, I know coaches generally like to stay away from this, but what should the expectations be that following season? And how good do you think this team could be?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that. I mean, we did a really good job the last few days in these games. And then today we didn't. And so it's different. We don't have a guy, obviously, like Anthony that can get those kind of baskets. We really don't have a guy like Ray Sean Hammonds that can get those kind of baskets. So it's got to be collective. It's got to be collective for us. Well, it's got to be collective on the defensive end too. And I think with 8 new players, certainly having KD adds to it. But I never think in terms of expectations. I think in terms of how we're going to improve. And we had been improving. We've been improving the last few days, and then we didn't show it today in the game.
Okay, let's have Andy Walsh and then Mike Griffith.
Hey, Coach. You guys are down 3 coming out of the half, and then 5 minutes in, it was a 16-point deficit. What sort of happened in those 5 minutes, and how hard did it make it thereafter?
Well, I think I covered it. We didn't come out with the same level of fight. It started getting beat off the dribble. We had a couple of turnovers with Ty Fagan. We get beat off the dribble. I got to change this lineup. When at some point, and just get some guys that are really going to bear down and say, okay, this starts with how we come down and get connected. One of our big goals is to get 3 stops in a row to start a half, and to come out with that kind of mindset. And we didn't have that today. So that's what happened. And nobody took the bull by the horns to say, okay, I'm gonna lead the way and get us out of this. Not necessarily with scoring. I think sometimes average players think they're going to lead their way out. Well, I'm going to go get a basket. But most of the time it doesn't work that way. They've got to lead with impact. They've got to lead with defense, rebounding, and be that emotional leader that you need. And we didn't really have that, and they did. And I didn't like how we got our head down in this. I mean, we're trying to get guys that have not played together other than this year, since the end of the summer, to understand how much they can affect one another. But I think we also have to learn that we can't wait for somebody to affect us. We've got to be able to put ourselves in position to be that one that impacts teammates.
Yeah, Coach, a couple things I want to ask you about. KD, kind of an uncharacteristically bad shooting day for him, but a slow start. And then Ned, is that a kid we might see more of? It looked like he was more productive in 5
Well, I
minutes.
think we're going to have to with Jonathan Nett. He's a spacer. He took open shots. He just hasn't been as physical as we needed him to be. And we knew that. And it's just been a little bit shorter. It's taken a little bit too long, but he can space the floor. He knows how to play the game. And I think we're going to have to, because Chris Brown has practiced just a little bit yesterday. I don't think he was comfortable to be in the game as much. KD got distracted early too. You know, KD played like a freshman that has just only played a couple of games today. And I know he did some things late, but that's where you need leadership to kind of help guide him through it. And today he was out there, you know, like he was stranded in the water himself, you know, with no life raft, because there was nobody really pulling it together to help. And uncharacteristic, no doubt about it, but something that we've got to get changed quickly.
In the last two questions, let's go with Ryan Curley and then Tori Heck.
Hey, Coach. I think it was 13 for 24 from the free throw line. Is that something that you guys have been working on in practice, or you're going to focus on more? I know that's not the first game where there were poor numbers from the line.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the guys missing the free throws. It really is, because they're way better shooters than that. We went 17 and 19, I think, the other day against, or 15 to 17, whatever it was, against Ole Miss. We only shot 9 the other night, but we were 7 and 9. We just got to step up to the line and make free throws. This is college basketball. It's the SEC, and you just got to step up and knock them down. And I don't have a lot of sympathy for that, because again, it'd be different if they were poor shooters. They're not poor shooters. It's just get your breath, bear down, stay with it, reach up, get the self-talk right, and go up and knock it down. And yeah, that's I would hope no one would think that we don't work on free throws. I mean, I hope that would go without saying, but I know it doesn't look like it at times, but that's an embarrassment when we shoot that way. Not with the time we spend on it, not with the quality of the guys that are shooting the shots.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, you mentioned having a really good couple of practices in the last 2 days, but leading up to this game, is there anything in particular besides the level of aggression in those practices that was looking promising to you?
No, they were locked in. Yeah, I can't put that. Everybody was locked in. It was, you never know if you're going to win the game, but to play with the lack of spirit and to play with the lack of aggressiveness in a game like this today, that didn't make sense. You know, that really didn't make sense. And they've got a really good program. Mike's built that program up. He's done a really good job with his recruiting. They're deep. He's had a chance to build it and get guys that can really play the style that he wants to play. And they've been there a little bit with it now. But that's no excuse. And we got to bear down and go. And we as much as we worked on things, we never took away what we wanted to take away, when it was the individuals off the dribble, whether it was the rebounding. We just weren't aggressive enough. And if you don't come to fight in this league, the other team usually does, and you're going to be behind it. And again, we still had numerous chances, but we didn't put any consistency together today, aggressiveness wise.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
And we should be joined shortly by the players. Okay, we're first going to be joined by Andrew Garcia. And let's start first with Anthony Dasher and then Jeff Schultz.
Hey, Andrew, what was the most frustrating part about today's game? Was it the missed free throws or all the second chance points by Florida? I think they outdid y'all 22-11 in that regard.
Yeah, yeah, we always harp on we gotta make our free throws, so those always hurt. But we obviously got our rebound this game, and they exposed us on the second chance point. So it was really frustrating. We were trying to just figure it out throughout the game what we should doing, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of along those lines. Is this a game like this? Does this surprise you coming off 2 games where you guys sort of fought to the end and then to have defensive lapses like you did in this game?
It's something that we don't want to backtrack on. Something that we've talked about as a team, but we know collectively what we had to do, and we fell short, and we kept making the wrong play on the defensive end and getting up those boards. So yeah, it is frustrating coming off a game where we played as hard as we did, and then but everybody knows what we have to do. So we just got to just stay together and figure it out.
All right, let's have Chip Towers and then Mike Griffith.
Yeah, Andrew, what's your opinion on rebounding? You guys, these guys obviously had some size on you, but the offensive rebounds in particular were pretty lopsided today. Is that a fundamental thing? I mean, where do you think, how do you address that? How do you improve that?
I feel like on a defensive end, everybody has the fight and the energy to play. And with the pace we play at offensively and defensively, we like to get down the court. So, but as well, we are a small team. So I think when games like these or we verse opponents who are big enough, we probably have to have like a collective effort to maybe come crash down if me and whoever is cracking down the bigs and someone comes soaring in. It's those that we just got to hit and just fundamentally just remember that, all right, let's get that ball and then we can push, because we all want to speed on the court and use our speed and athleticism. But we also have to remember that we got to get those boards and can't get them second chance points for the team.
Hey, Andrew, sorry to keep kind of piling on what happened. It was, obviously an ugly loss. The 16-3 run, what's going through your mind? I mean, how does that, I guess I just say, how does that happen after the way you guys have been playing against Ole Miss and Kentucky? What happened there?
I mean, we probably have to probably work on our coverages on the pick and rolls. We probably refuse a little bit. It's probably too much, and then probably me kind of shifting to help out the guards if they off the picks and stuff like that. I think kind of understanding even the weak side and strong side is helping and bumping. Those little things we just have to get back to, and we didn't execute today, I feel like, on that end. So I think we got to just continue to stick to the game plan and stick with each other and understand that everybody has each other and keep talking, because everybody plays with heart and energy. But the offense and all the other teams and probably do stuff to obviously take that away. So we got to just follow the game plan and stick with each other.
Okay, let's have Mark Weiser and then Andy Walsh.
Andrew, you said you didn't want to see the team backtrack. Obviously, you guys started SEC play kind of tough. How do you avoid that in the next game or two?
I mean, I think it's a quick fix. We've been there, we've done that, and we got little lapses in the game today, but I feel like we did bring some fight. There was some positives. So we have to come together individually, us players, and kind of bring back, the stuff we said and go back to that dog mentality that we showed the last 2 games, because we already proved that we can play at that level. So we have to continue to have that consistency throughout all the games coming forward.
Yeah, Andrew, and you're talking about, coming back together as a team. How much does that fall on your shoulders and the other graduate transfers, just as y'all move into the next game?
It's big for us to keep having a voice, but it's everybody. Everybody has to have that voice if it's not going for them, or even if it's going for them, because we need to collectively help each other. And we have to bring our own energy, 100%. We shouldn't have anybody telling us, all right, let's play hard. But it has to be there 100% of the time. And Like mistakes are gonna happen. No one's perfect, even myself. If I don't box out, if I'm not being more active, so we have to continue to have that will, continue to have that voice and that talk, so we can uplift everybody to have that positive energy.
Okay, that's all we have time for with Andrew. And up next, we're gonna have Sahvir Wheeler.
Thanks.
Okay, let's start first with Anthony Dasher and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Sahvir, I ask Andrew this question. I'll ask you the same thing. Today, what was the most frustrating part? The missed free throws or all the second half points tonight by Florida?
You said second half points.
Second chance points by Florida. I think they outdid y'all 22-11 the second half points tonight.
I think both of those are equally frustrating, but you can't always decide if the ball goes in. You don't miss free throws on purpose. You always go up there and try to make them. So if it doesn't fall, it doesn't fall. But on the rebound end, everyone can get better from every person on the roster. That's an effort thing, just going down there and attacking the ball. And that's something that we didn't really do today as a team. So I think that would be a little more frustrating. And we got a couple days to correct it and correct it good.
Sahvir, what happened to you individually? Obviously, you had 9 assists in the first half, and just really bringing the game and getting the offense going in the second half. You struggled to get that assist and didn't play quite as many minutes. Was there some conversation there about what you were doing and what direction they were going to go within the lineup the rest of the way?
No, I'm not sure what exactly you're asking, but we just played a game of basketball. I mean, that's all I have for that. I'm not sure.
It was very poorly asked by me, but I mean, obviously you had 9 assists and were playing great in the first half. You had 1 assist and didn't play as many minutes in the second half. Why?
I'm not sure. I'm part of the same game as you're watching. I'm trusting coach. Felt like he had something, good going there, and he went with it. We trust coach and his game plan. We're all trying to win games, so what I want to do is ever best for the team, whether I'm out there or I'm not.
All right, let's have Jeff Schultz and then Mark Weiser.
I'm just wondering, as an athlete, when you're coming off games like you guys were coming off, and then you have a game like this, not individual, I mean team-wise, where things are just so inconsistent from game to game. What goes through your mind? I mean, as an athlete, are you thinking, why is this happening? Why can't we do what we did the last game?
A little bit, but I think now looking back at it in hindsight, as a group, collectively, we know what it takes for us to win games, and we know some of the common factors when we don't win games. We're still in the growing process. We've had some pretty good wins, and we have some losses that we wish we could have took back some plays here and there. We wish we could have come back. But obviously, it's frustrating to lose games. No one wants to lose. But I think we have found some bright spots in today's game, whether that have been, Mike on his defensive pressure, KD getting to the basket, and even John Ned coming in for 10 minutes, making 2 threes, and I'm getting a couple of rebounds. So obviously we lost, but there are some bright spots, and we're gonna get back to the drawing board, keep getting better.
Sorry, one follow-up. What were those common factors that you tend to see when things don't go well?
I think some of it has to do with, our performance at the free throw line and our lack of defensive tenacity, especially because there's a whole new game that coach says. There's a game where you're playing the possession, you're guarding the possession, and then when a shot goes up, that's a whole nother ball game. As far as the athleticism and the physicality of when it's time to rebound the ball, and that's something we got to get back to. In games we've won and games we've played well, we've been fairly close, either winning or losing or tying the battle or losing by 1 or 2 rebounds when we won. And we can't be out rebounded like how we were today if we want to win games.
All right, let's have Mike Griffith and then Tori Heck.
Hey, I thought I was asking.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, sorry, I thought you already went. Mark, you can go first.
Jeff had a follow-up. Hey, Sahvir, I was just going to ask you how your shoulder is doing, and are you kind of battling through a little bit of an injury there?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. All All right, go ahead then. Thanks. Next question.
Hey, Sahvir, just I know you're focused forward. We're just following up on this game. The opening moments of the second half, it seemed to get away from you. What happened during that 16-3 spurt for Florida right there?
Basketball is a game of runs. You know, we made runs in our prior games, or we've sustained the lead, and in other games, we had the run been on us. And today was one of those games where, you know, we took a hit and we didn't respond, we didn't counterpunch. But yeah, I mean, we got to find ways to battle through adversity. To know that, you know, these are high major teams. These are, you know, SEC teams. Everyone has a pro on their team. So we gotta know that that's gonna come, and we gotta fight back.
So your coach said that you guys had a really good couple of practices the couple of days leading up to this game. What do you think didn't quite translate from what was going well in those practices to today?
I think that's a little bit of the mystery or the self-reflection that we have to do as a team. Because when you practice the way we practice, I mean, I don't think we've had a bad practice, you know, all year, maybe one or two in the year. You know, we're practicing hard. Guys are, you know, competing. We're dialed in, and it is kind of frustrating when we practice so well and we come in and play like this. So I'm not really sure on what actually happens, but I just know it can't go on for much longer if we want to win games here.
Thanks, Sahvir.
All right. Thanks so much, Sahvir.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight, but we will have a transcript to you guys shortly.